Hi everybody, welcome to DayZ on the PlayStation 4. Welcome to Chernarus. Welcome to the military base. The military airfield. Now, what we're doing in this stream, not sure how long this will be, is we're going to be investigating the airfield on the UK temporary server 1234 with persistence off. I never used to kind of understand why you would want to. I can't read my compass. North, east. So I think I want to be heading east. I can never kind of understand why you would want a persistence off server, because you'd always want to have stuff, wouldn't you? And then I kind of realised the problem with DayZ and the problem with lots of online games. Is that there are certain hacks that can be had, and or exploits, and the big exploit for DayZ is duping. And so what people do is they'll find a way to somehow exploit a lack of sync between what the DayZ servers think you've got and what your local console or PC thinks you've got in your inventory. And this usually involves some sort of disconnecting from the internet, so that your console thinks you've dropped something, where the DayZ server doesn't think you've dropped something, and then when they sync up again, you end up with both things. So imagine you've got a backpack full of gear, and you drop it and you disconnect from the internet at the correct time. The DayZ server thinks you're still wearing that backpack, but your local server still thinks it's on the floor in front of you, and then when they sync up again, both of them are there, so you have the stuff on your back and the stuff in on the floor, so then you've got double of everything. The problem with this is that DayZ's individual servers have an economy of loot, which means that only a certain number of items can be on a server at any one time. So if we take the example of, say, the KN-47 assault rifle, on each server there could only be allowed, say, to have 30 of these KN-47 assault rifles at any one time. And if there are more than 30 assault rifles of that type, the server won't spawn any, even when it reboots. It'll say, no, there's 30 of these on the server, I'm not going to spawn any more in. And that's because these dupers have collected them all in various corners of the map, and have probably got them hidden away in their little bases. Just have a drink. And therefore you can't find any when you're wandering around the map. And this is a real problem, because if you've been playing DayZ for the past few days or couple of weeks, you'll notice that it's very hard to find any decent kit. You'll find submachine guns, and you'll find SKSs, you'll find the odd sniper rifle and huntsman's rifles, but you won't find assault rifles, you won't find M4s, you won't find AKs. And as I say, that's because these are all held up by dupers who are hoarding these things. And this is where the persistent off servers come in. Have I got myself a little bit lost here? Because the idea with the persistent off server is that every time the server resets, everything is deleted from the server. So if anybody's stashed any stuff on the server, it disappears, stuff in tents, stuff in barrels, stuff buried in sea chests, all that sort of thing. So in theory, what this means is at the beginning of a reset, there should be KNs and M4s and all that lovely loot stuff. Another thing I want to say actually is, if you watch other, especially PC streamers or PC DayZ players and their videos on YouTube and Twitch, you'll find that when they're running around and looting, they do these one life runs. Well, they'll go to a place and they'll be picking up assault rifles, submachine guns, and scopes and all this stuff, seemingly really easily. Where you might find on the Xbox and PlayStation you've got to hunt around for days, to find anything decent at all. So that's the idea, to explore this persistent off server. Now it is a high population server, just to see if we can find something like an M4 or a KN. Now I was at the airfield, but I seem to have got myself lost. I don't know where I am now. Now one thing I do suspect, however, is that people will use the persistent off server to farm stuff and then take it back to other servers. They'll wait for a reset on the server, go to the airfield, grab an M4, grab a KN or a Mosan or things like that, leave the server, then go back to their duping server, if you like, where they've been duping stuff and they've got a base. They've got 50 tents and they've got 25 barrels, and they'll hide the stuff there, and that obviously makes the situation even worse. Now, I did see, right, so there are some power lines there, aren't there? So let's see if we can figure where we are for these power lines. Let's have a look at the picture on the map. I thought I was west of the base. There's the train tracks. Okay, so in theory, if I head north, I should hit a road no matter where I am, and then we can work out where we are from there. Yeah, now, fingers crossed. What's that building there? What's that building there? Fingers crossed, with the update that is coming before the end of July, they're promising to really look at the duping problem. Alright, yeah, that's the edge of the airfield, isn't it? Right, cool, I can see a guard tower, which will hopefully we'll do something to sort it out. In reality, what will probably happen is it will just make duping more difficult for a while people figure things out. But in that case, maybe what they do need to do is have more persistent off servers, so at least people can go to the persistent off servers and find gear, and then take it back to the persistent on servers where they can then keep it, because you want the ability to make bases, don't you, and make a place in the world. Right, okay, so we're at the northern end of the... Right, I think I know where I am now. I wouldn't be surprised if I get killed very, very quickly. Being a high pop server, and being on the military airfield, one of the most popular places. PSO scope, that's for the KA. Oh, see, straight away, look, a USG-45. We found a USG submachine gun straight away. So maybe this is a good sign. Oh, wait, there's a gun here. So that's an SKS, which you've already got, so... Again, typical, lots of M4 attachments, no M4s themselves. This is only a barracks, though. Another spare compass. What's that? 762 by 54s. He's not happy, that chap, is he? It's 308, I think, into it. Yeah, you start to get used to the 556. Plenty of ammo. Tactical shirt. Oh, do I need any rags? No, we've got plenty of rags. Somebody's right outside this door. What are you away, zombie? We'll work our way up to the top and then work our way back down the other side, and if we can stay alive we'll go down to the tents which are to the southeast. What's that? Oh, gloves. Gun cleaning kit, I think I've already got one. Yeah. Gas mask, another buttstock. Some more food. I think I've got enough food. Okay. Let's move on. Transceiver, isn't it? A field transmitter. Not what I'm looking for. Combat helmet. Hunting knife. Getting a bit thirsty, aren't I? If we got any more drinks, in fact, if we have the spaghetti. We'll take see, that's empty. Oh, we've still got 2 bottles of water. Okay, let's have let's drink some of this. In fact, let's drink it all. Can we make, have I got any tape? Yeah, oh, we could. Alright, I've not enough tape to make a suppressor. Okay. Starting to lose the light a little bit. How are they? Badly damaged, but mine are ruined, I think, aren't they? Alright. Did I pick up a sewing kit? No. Tactical goggles. Do they look cooler than my... No, they don't. Future so bright. Gotta wear shades. Alright, the ubiquitous camo tent. Or camo for a tent. Cobra sights. Universal. See, I haven't even found a scope from a SKS. Box 556, some more bacon. I think I've got enough bacon. Okay. Right, so what we do now is we head south and we hit the tents. Although this is going to be very dangerous. So, initial findings on the temporary server. There was the submachine gun, wasn't there? But that was it. I mean, if we hit these tents and go, and there's nothing there, you know, there's not a single M. What I'm looking for is an M4 or a KN. You know, that's the acid test. If we do all this area here, in the north of the airfield, you know, those barracks, and then we do the tents down here, and we still can't find an assault rifle, then we know pretty much everybody else is running. Who's on the server must have like assault rifles, because I think that economy we were talking about of only allowing certain things to spawn in probably also includes people who are on the server. So if you've got 20 people on the server with M4s, yeah, it won't spawn in any fresh M4s. Get into cover. Let's have a quick look at the online. Yeah, this is a full server, so there has to be people. Definitely the airfield, unless I'm very lucky and I've just come in on a server reset and people are still making their way to the. Saying that even if it was a server reset, they would still be on the airfield, wouldn't they? Want to keep to the trees. Okay, so this is where go across this road here. Yeah, so with the big update coming, what we're going to experience is a complete wipe of all our characters. Right, there's the tents up ahead. Every single server will be cleaned out. You know, all your stashes will be gone. They're going to be working on ghosting as well. They say they're going to be working on, and that's where, when you've built a base, somebody finds that base, but they can't get into it because you built walls and you've got a lock on it and all this sort of stuff. And then what they do is they simply just go to another server where your base isn't, walk inside where your base would be, swap back to the server that they found the base on, and then they're inside. And obviously that's a bit of a problem. They say they're going to try and get around the ghosting problem with if you quit out and try and spawn in or log back in within a certain period of time. This is very open, this. You'll spawn in somewhere else. You'll log in somewhere else. You won't log in where you logged out. It's a bloody pain that I keep doing that. So what we're looking for here are aggroing zombies. Or obviously people. That's what we're really looking for. So I think what we've got to do here is kind of get in and out as quick as we can to maximising our chances of survival. The usual attachments. that one got a scope on it? No. Ammo. Guess if you... oh, zombie. All I find is canned bacon. More ammo. More ammo. .308. More ammo. Of course, there's always the possibility this place has been picked clean already by players. More ammo. Helmet, camo net, M4 railguard. Railguard, handguard. Shots fired. Buttstock. Okay, so we can safely say this hasn't been much of a success. We would have found plenty of ammo if we'd looked. So north, so we want to get out of here now. I think east is probably the safest option. Remember the buttons to press. Let's get into those trees. So it's been interesting. So we've had a good exploration of the military airfield on the UK temporary server 1234 with the with the hopes that by doing all the barracks and the military tents. Oh, I don't like this. We'd find at least, well, I wanted an assault rifle, that's what I wanted. If you think, you know, I can't remember the last time I saw an M4 or a KN, if it's when other people had them. And then there's the battle rifle as well. Haven't seen that. There's so much stuff I've never ever seen in this game. Because you think maybe some of the rarer items like the VSS sniper rifle and stuff, they might only spawn, say, 5 to a server, and if people have duped them, you know, on every single DayZ server, which I would, you know, looting is, I'm not going to lie, looting is a pain in DayZ, you know, but it's part of the game, isn't it? Right, let's go the right way. But people have found a way around that. In fact, I was watching Don Sibley's, one of Don Sibley's videos. He's like an Xbox and a PC DayZ streamer, and he was saying that sometimes what people do is they make these, I think he called them God tents, where you get like a tent and there's a way of not packing it but putting stuff inside it, so you can carry this tent with loads and loads and loads of stuff inside, you know, and then they dupe it, so they end up with loads of guns and ammo and, you know, anything you could want, you know, and then they've been selling them on eBay and places, you know. I guess people PayPal the money, don't they? You know, if you could spawn in and you could give somebody, say, I don't know, a £5 or $5, and they say, right, here's a tent, and in it you'll have an M4, you'll have a sniper rifle, you'll have scopes, you'll have camo gear, yeah, everything you need to crack on with some PvP action. You know, so you go straight up to the airfield or one of the military bases and start shooting people. Yeah, people might be willing to do that if you think, you know, it could take you. Well, hopefully, when the game gets fixed and the duping problems are gone, you know, it might take you, you know, a few hours to get, you know, some good PvP kit. You know, is the price of a couple of cups of coffee, would that be worth it? So you didn't have to do that, and I think probably for lots of people that's probably true. But it does kind of spoil it for the rest of us who are kind of playing this game as it should be played, which is as a kind of a survival action game, adventure game. So there we go, exploring the temporary 1, 2, 3, 4 server on PlayStation 4, the UK one. Didn't come away with what I hoped for. A little bit disappointed, but really loving DayZ as a game. You know, I think it's an amazing game, and really looking forward to the update that should be coming by the end of July that will address these problems anyway, and then we can go around finding good guns, and we can get on with building bases, creating caches, creating communities, all that sort of thing. So anyway, that's enough from me. If you've enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. Put your questions and comments down below. Remember, you can support the channel through Patreon, and there's the Discord link as well, so come and join the Discord. You can find like-minded players to play with. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again soon.